Good afternoon, guys and girls. Rob here with you, and we're going to be talking about some college football playoffs. Um, I've been listening to all the TV sports critics all morning long, and every one of them agrees on one thing: that an unbeaten team should not. There's one unbeaten team that should not be in the football playoff. And that team is the Florida State Seminoles. Um, with a backup quarterback. Backup quarterback. Let's make it clear. They're starting a backup quarterback. They haven't lost. They're 12-0. They play Louisville this week. Louisville beat Notre Dame. We found out Notre Dame is not as good as we thought they were, but they beat Notre Dame. Florida State didn't have to play them this year. What happens, okay, when we start pickling and being like, okay, look, that's an unbeaten team, but we get in trouble that way. We can get in trouble that way. Last year, TCU made it. Hell, they won a game. What proof? I don't want to hear people tell me now TCU didn't belong in there last year. They won. They won a game. They won a game. Georgia killed them. Georgia beat the crap out of them. TCU belonged there. I'm sorry. They made it to the championship game. Now, do I think they probably heard a lot of, well, you guys are the best program in America. From Texas to Oklahoma to Louisiana to New Mexico, every radio station in Texas last year had TCU winning. TCU, you are the Cinderella story. You're going to go in there, you're going to march in there, and you're going to beat the hell out of Georgia. It didn't happen. But does that mean TCU did not belong there? All we look at is what happened there. TCU got the hell beat out of them. Do you remember a few weeks before that, or a couple weeks before that? They beat Michigan. You're going to tell me now that an unbeaten Florida State team, you're going to go to their headquarters and tell them, you know what? We're not even considering you. And that's what I'm hearing. Florida State may be as low as 8 tomorrow. Are you telling me that's the truth? That right now you would rather have an Alabama team, a Texas team, an Oregon team, and a lot of people say Oregon's the best team in the country. They got beat. But we would rather have Oregon over Washington. I'm hearing that too. Are you serious? I'm like this. Florida State has played everybody you lined up in front of them, and they beat them. They beat them. What the hell do they have to do? They ain't had the schedule. No, they haven't. That's why we're playing these playoffs. Put them at number 4. Make them play Georgia. I don't have a problem with that. Georgia, look what Georgia did. Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech. They made Georgia Tech look good, or did Georgia Tech make Georgia look bad? You tell me. Michigan beat Ohio State. They controlled the game, but they didn't blow them off the field. What do you want from a team? That's what I want to know. What do you want from a team? If I'm coaching Florida State right now, they've given you everything you wanted from them. Everything. They beat everybody in front of them. We had adversity. We brought a quarterback off the bench. We beat Florida. Florida? Are you going to tell me that Florida is the worst team in the SEC? I don't buy it. I think they're better than Kentucky. I think they're better than Tennessee. I think they're better than Tennessee. I think they're better than Vanderbilt. I think they're better than Mississippi State. They're not the doormat of the SEC, and they play them every year. And Florida State beat them. Georgia Tech, they've pulled off some upsets, yeah. But are they the doormat of the ACC? Go look at their record. Look at who's beating them. Look at who's beating Georgia Tech this year. And Georgia's got that on their resume going into the finals, going into the SEC championship. So you're going to tell me that Florida State should not even be considered now. They don't have a starting quarterback. We don't know where they stand. We think they should be 7th or 8th. Really? Really? So if Michigan loses Blake Corum, what do you do? Blake Corum. First thing out of any Michigan fan's mouth is, he's a great player, but he's not all our offense. Jordan Travis didn't catch a ball. Jordan Travis doesn't tackle people. I'm saying the same thing. Do I think Florida State's a top 4 team in this country? No, I don't. No, I don't. But does Florida State deserve the consideration to go to the playoff if they win and they're 13-0 or 12-0, 13-0, whatever? You tell me. I say yes. You start going on the eye test with all this shit, then you're going to start telling me that BYU, that beat Oklahoma, that Oklahoma beat Texas, and Texas beat Alabama, and if Alabama beats Georgia this week, you're going to tell me BYU belongs in there. Really? Man, I saw how BYU beat up on Oklahoma State. Really? Are we going to go that way? Team A beat Team B, and Team B beat Team C, and Team C beat Team D, and Team D beat the champion. Does that mean Team A is the best team in the country? No. Right now, we got 4 undefeated teams that's eligible to go into the college football playoff. We got Georgia up top. Georgia up top. Let's say they lose by a field goal to Alabama. Georgia is no longer number 1, but they stay in the top 4. Georgia's in. Michigan, they play Iowa this week. Iowa, a top 10 defensive team in the country. I don't think they can lose them. I don't think Iowa can beat them, but let's say Iowa beats them 10-7. Does Michigan fall out of the top 4? I don't think so. I don't think so. Now we start talking. Washington. Washington's already beaten an Oregon team already. They're going to play Oregon this weekend. People on national television, people on the radio right now saying Oregon's the best team in the country. But they've got a loss. They lost. Let's say this weekend Washington wins. They beat Oregon. Let's say this weekend Florida State wins and they beat Louisville. Then who belongs in there? Georgia loses. Michigan loses. Washington wins. Florida State wins. Are you going to really tell me that out of the 2 unbeaten teams, you're going to take one of them out of there? You're going to take Florida State out. We're going to insert Texas if they win. You going to tell me that? Really? We're going to put Texas in there. Oh, Alabama just beat Georgia, was what we're saying. We're going to put Alabama in there. We're going to keep Georgia. We're going to keep Georgia. We're going to keep Michigan. We're going to keep Washington. Washington won, so we'll keep them in there. And we're going to put Alabama in there. We're going to take Florida State out. Are you kidding me? I still think if Alabama wins this week, right, I think they're going to find a way to get them in the top 4. I think they will. That's just my opinion. I think they'll find a way to get Alabama in that top 4 if they pull out the upset at the Southeast Conference Championship. But nothing's holding Oregon back. If Oregon beats Oregon beats Washington, Washington may as well stamp its label on another bowl because they're not going to be top 4. Washington, they're looking to push them out already. Michael Penix Jr., he may as well just say, wow, you liked me last week, but you don't like me now. How does that work? Do you agree with that? Really? I'd love to hear what people have to say. Florida State goes undefeated. Do we keep them out? Do we keep them out? I don't think so. If you're undefeated, you win your conference, you should be a top 4 team in the country. Clear as that. Right now, Georgia, Michigan, Washington, and Florida State. It's pretty clear to me. You take care of business, you're in. You lose, somebody from the outside is probably coming in there. I like those chances. I think at least one loses and probably 2. I think Michigan probably wins. I think Alabama's right. Georgia's right for the picking for Alabama right here. I think Alabama can win that game. I think Oregon can beat Washington. And I think Florida State can lose as well. If Florida State loses, it's a moot point. But I'm just defending them if they go undefeated. If they go 12-0 or 13-0, whatever it is, 13-0, I think. They go 13-0. What's up, Alex? And they're one of 4 or less teams. It may only be 2 or 3. Do you pull them out of the bowl? Do you pull them out of the playoffs? By all indications, I'm hearing that. I'm hearing they're not going to be a number 4 team tomorrow night. How? How do you put them outside the top 5 right now? and if they win. So if the Bears and the Panthers lose out, do the Bears get the top 2 picks in the draft? Yes. Yes. So you tell me, guys, if Florida State wins, do you keep them out? I say no. I say no, you can't. They win, they're in. Okay? 15 and a half minutes in the video now. We're going to go to the pros. Now, I'm going to talk about the NFL for a couple seconds. I've got to talk about 3 teams, okay? Los Angeles Chargers, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Chicago Bears. Okay? 2 of those teams are losing at an alarming rate. I agree. I think they should be the four in the playoff. 2 of them are losing at an alarming rate, the Chargers and the Bears. And then Pittsburgh's winning. Yet all I hear is bench Kenny Pickett. Bench Kenny Pickett. And Justin Fields, he just does not have any help around him. Look around him. He's got Chase Claypool. DJ Brown. He does not have any talent around him? Are you kidding me? Watch some of the Bears games. Okay? And if you got if you've got the full screen vision, if you've got that a capability. And some replays will show that now. Look at how many times he didn't throw it to open receivers the last 5 games he's played. He's got 1 win this year. 1 win. And Justin Fields is an all-pro. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? He's not even an all-pro running back, guys. Justin Fields? I'm still hearing talk that Justin Fields is better than C.J. Stroud. He's the best quarterback to ever come out of Ohio State. Tell the Houston Texans that. Tell the Houston Texans that right now. Kenny Pickett needs to be benched because they're 7-4 and he's not carrying the team. Something sounds screwed up there, doesn't it? Listen to Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin says we win as a group, we lose as a group. I think Justin Fields is the top 3, top 4 worst starting quarterbacks in the NFL right now. He's not good. He's not good. He can't find open receivers. Justin Herbert. I've been on his ass a lot. I think he has good mechanics, but he's got the players. Okay? He's got the players. He just doesn't win. He just doesn't win. I'm sorry. I get rid of Brandon Staley today, and I draft me a quarterback next season. And these people that love the Bears, I love it, boys. I love it how you say, well, those first 2 picks in the draft's got to be Harrison and an offensive tackle. Harrison and an offensive tackle. And you got Bo Nix there, and you got Michael Penix Jr. there. You got Sam Hartman there. Those first 2 picks, we got to get ourselves an offensive tackle. And we got to get Marvin Harrison Jr., and we're going to be a team to reckon with. With with Fields. Justin Fields is going to be a Pro Bowler when you put the pieces around him. He's got two receivers. He's got decent receivers now, and he's got a decent tight end right now. Are you kidding me? An all-pro. He's an all-pro quarterback. Kenny Pickett doesn't have any of that. I would probably take Marvin Harrison Jr. first. I probably would. I would probably take or I would take a left tackle out of Notre Dame. What about that? What if you took a left tackle out of Notre Dame? And then you go out at the second pick, you go out here and either get Bo Nix, Michael Penix Jr. What if you did that? What if you did that? Let me ask people this. What's your trade market right now for Justin Fields? If you go on Facebook, you got thousands of people that say Fields is a top 10 quarterback in the league. Top 10. Top 10. Okay? Justin Fields is a top 10 quarterback in this league. I don't think he's a top 25. I'm thinking around the league right now who I would rather have or rather not have than him. Maybe Zach Wilson. Is he any better than Zach Wilson? Caleb Williams is going to be an NFL bust. I think his stock is dropping. I really think his stock is dropping. I don't think the Bears would try that, but who the hell knows? Tell me when I hit a hurdle and I don't jump. Fields, Tua, Fields, Jared Goff, Fields, Jalen Hurts, Fields, Josh Allen, Fields, C.J. Stroud. I hadn't seen it. I don't think I've tripped over myself yet. Fields. Baker Mayfield. Fields. Quarterback, Lawrence, Trevor Lawrence. Fields, Dak Prescott. How about the quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings right now? Josh Dobbs. And I'm not trying to make light of Josh Dobbs. I think, to me, I'm just bringing his name up because nobody wanted the kid. He is a self-proclaimed nobody. He said nobody wanted him. Would you rather have Dobbs or would you rather have Fields? Ask Minnesota. They're going to go against each other tonight. Who would you rather have? What's up, Michael Peterson? What's going on? What's up, Tim? Who would you rather have right now? Fields or Dobbs? Michael Peterson said Dobbs. Fields cannot read a defense, guys. He's going to get his coach. His coach is going to get fired. His coach is going to get fired. But what happens to the GM next year when they get the top 2 picks in the draft and they go out and get that left tackle from Notre Dame, probably number 1, and then they go out and get Marvin Harrison, and they keep Fields? Quarterback for Washington, he's nothing to brag about. Sam Howell, okay? He's nothing to brag about. But he's gotten sacked 80,000 times this year. I would rather have Howell than Justin Fields. I would rather have Howell than Justin Fields. I'm just telling you the truth. Will Levis starting for Tennessee right now. Well, Will Levis is the 3rd one on the depth chart. You give me Will Levis right now. You can keep Fields. I will take Levis. I'll take Levis. Desmond Ridder, as much as he doesn't play well in a lot of tight spots for the Atlanta Falcons, look at Atlanta's record. He's won more than Fields has won. He's not a solid quarterback. No, he's not. I know he's not. But is he better than Fields right now? Is he better than Fields right now? Hell, I'd rather have Kyler Murray. You know how I feel about Kyler Murray. I think Kyler Murray is undersized. I think he gets himself in a lot of trouble, and I think he's a dope. And I still think he's better than Justin Fields. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to offend people. I'm not trying to offend a soul. Jimmy G is better than Fields. Look at the guy at Denver. Look at the guy at Denver. The guy at Denver was getting the hell beat out of him the first month of the year. They pulled off 5 wins in a row, 6 wins in a row, something like that. Would you rather have Fields? Tell me. Gardner Minshew. He wins sometimes with the Colts and loses sometimes with the Colts. He's no guarantee. He's not an all-pro. He gives you a chance to win. And he doesn't lose every week. Fields loses every week. One week their defense looks all pros and he looks like garbage. The next week the defense doesn't show up and he goes out there and plays decent. But he never outplays the other team to the point that he can win a ball game. And then I'm hearing this trash on TV that Kenny Pickett has got to be benched. What do you think Pittsburgh fans think about that shit? What do you think? What do you think about Pittsburgh? What's up, Dwayne? What do you think about the Steelers benching Kenny Pickett? Because I've heard 2 radio broadcasts and a TV broadcast all say they would be better off with whoever they got on the bench better than Kenny Pickett. And they're 7-4. They're 7-4. You tell me. Kenny Pickett wins. That's all he does is win. He doesn't worry about numbers except INTs, and he doesn't throw that many of them. He does not put his defense in a position to lose. He doesn't put his team in positions to lose. The best way to lose your starting job as a quarterback is to be in your own end of the field and you either fumble the ball or turn the ball over. That's the way you lose your job. And we know with Pittsburgh winning, Tomlin is not benching him. Tomlin's not going to bench him. Well, next year they're going to have to draft somebody. Really? Really? You make your playoffs. There's 14 teams making playoffs. You're a top 14 team. You make it playoffs. You telling me you're going to draft a quarterback? Now look, that's totally different if you go draft a quarterback 5th, 6th, 7th round. I don't have a problem with that. But you're going to tell me in the first 2 rounds you're going to use one of your draft picks for a quarterback? Absolutely. Is Watson better than Fields? Yes. Yes. He gives you a better chance to win? Yes. I even said Kyler Murray is. And like I say, Kyler Murray will easily be the dumbest quarterback out there. Because when you have to write something on a contract that says I don't have to watch film, I don't have to watch game film. Okay? Does that tell me you're stupid or what? Okay? That's kind of like you going out driving a tractor trailer truck that you've never seen in your life. Okay? And somebody's going to let you watch how this truck handles. And you watch them drive it and stuff. And the guy in the truck says, well, when you make a right-hand turn, a lot of times it likes to yank a little bit. It likes to pull a little bit on. Okay? And then you go out and drive that truck for the next 6 months. Are you glad you watched that video knowing what you were getting into? If you're going to play a football team like a 49ers, are you telling me, and you play them twice a year if you're Kyler Murray, why in the world do you not want to watch film? You don't want to watch film? Why? I don't really need it. I don't need it. So in that sense, I look at Kyler Murray and I'm like, okay, wouldn't I want to at least know the truck that's going to run over me in the game? Kenny Pickett, this is my problem with Kenny Pickett right now. Kenny Pickett holds the ball too long sometimes. But he does not turn the ball over as much as some of these other quarterbacks. 7-4, that's why. Justin Herbert, 4-7, just the opposite. He's holding the ball too long. And when he does get rid of it at the last second, he's making bad mistakes. He's making bad mistakes. He's getting Brandon Staley fired. It's just a matter of when. And he may lose his job. It wouldn't surprise me at all if he loses his job. Because this kid's got everything. He's got the offensive line that's actually taking pretty damn good care of him. Tight end, running backs, wide receivers. They have got a lineup that most people would die for. In the NFL publication, they had them winning the division this year with 12 wins. 12-5. And they are 4-7 right now. Maybe some of it's play calling, yeah. And you can blame some of it on coaching. Yes, you can blame a little bit of it. You cannot blame everything on Brandon Staley. A lot of this goes to the quarterback. Same thing in Chicago. He's got receivers. He's got running backs. He got a pretty decent defense. And they don't play the toughest teams in the world. Are you going to tell me that Justin Fields, his criticism of coaching is enough to where I'm good for 1-2 wins a year with this coach? What the hell happens when the next coach comes in? What happens when this next coach comes in for Chicago? Can he go lay back on that comment? Well, that coach sucked, and this, man, he's just as bad. You know, this coach really, he don't play things the way I like. And I didn't like that coach either. For that coach, I won one time. Our backup won twice. Tyler Bagent won twice. Chicago Trash, a.k.a. the Chicago Trash, he won twice. Tyler Bagent won 2 games for you. You've won 1. Tonight, you get to prove us wrong. You're going against Josh Dobbs. Josh Dobbs. That highly talented, well, he wasn't highly talented. That he won a number 1 pick. And number 2, no, he won a number 2 pick. He was a free agent. Frank Reich got fired today because of C.J. Stroud. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. C.J. Stroud is having one hell of a year, and Bryce Young is not. Bryce Young does not have an offensive line. His receivers, right? His wide receivers. Have you ever heard of them? Bryce Young has no talent around him at all. None. His coach got fired. And he didn't blame it on the coach. He didn't blame it on the coach. They beat the Texans, C.J. Stroud and the Texans. The Bears have talent, too. The Bears have talent on offense. That's the difference. The Bears have some talent on offense. The Panthers don't. The Panthers don't. Eberflus is still going to get fired. He's going to get fired. Bye. And they're going to wipe their hands of Eberflus, and they're going to bring some other trash dump in there. He and C.J. Stroud are not going to see face-to-face, eye-to-eye on things. Hell, you could hire Ryan Day from Ohio State right there to Chicago. And I'll guarantee you, with Justin Fields, they will not go to the playoffs with Ryan Day. I'll guarantee it. How about that? He's not going to – I don't care who you bring in there. Whoever the coach is, they're not going to turn that thing around to where Justin Fields is going to go out there and be an all-pro quarterback. It's just not going to happen. He does not read coverages. He runs in some of the craziest locations possible where he always takes a hit. And he turns the ball over at the worst time. Arnold Hunter has a point there. The Steelers have had 3 coaches in 40 years. Yep. Mike Tomlin right now. Give me a better coach than Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin has won Super Bowls with Ben Roethlisberger. Roethlisberger wasn't that great coming out of college. He was good, but he wasn't that great. Kenny Pickett coming out of college. Did anybody tell us Kenny Pickett is a Hall of Famer when he came out of college? He's a good game manager. He doesn't turn the football over. Steelers defense plays well. What would happen if Kenny Pickett threw the ball, threw 4 interceptions? They're going to get beat. They're going to get beat. I don't give a damn what kind of defense you got. You got a quarterback that goes out here, goes 10 of 30, 10 of 20, 4 picks. You're going to get beat. You're going to get beat. Let's say you got a quarterback that goes 25 of 35 with 4 picks. You're probably going to get beat. I don't give a damn if you have completed 25 passes. It just does not work, folks. Turnovers equal to losses. They just do. The problem is that teams have to win now, and taking a coach that has won a lot in college supposedly is the answer. It usually isn't. Right. It's not. And Tomlin last year, well, they're going to have a losing season. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. They got their quarterback sucks. He's not great. I'm not up here defending Kenny Pickett and saying he's a Hall of Famer. He's not an All-Pro. He's not the best. He's not the best quarterback in that division. No. He fits the Steeler mold. He goes out there, plays the position. He's a tough son of a bitch. He does not throw the ball all around a lot. He doesn't give it away. It's a prized possession to the Steelers. When they see that football and they get it, they don't give it away. And when they do, they lose. Michael Peterson likes Andy Reid better. I would take Tomlin straight up against any of them. Okay? I think Reid has some great assistant coaches. But Reid also puts his players in a lot of time in a lot of positions where you can lose. Because you notice when an Andy Reid team loses, right? When an Andy Reid team loses, most time they unravel. They throw 2 or 3 picks, then they go out here and try to play catch up, throw 2 or 3 more, fumble the ball, bumble the ball, a lot of drop passes, because it's so much pressure on throwing the football every friggin' down. Too much pressure. I like Tomlin better. I don't think he plays with a lot of pressure. I think that's Tomlin's way right there. If Tomlin could go into a football game and run the football 50 times and throw the football 7 times, he'd do it. Now, how many quarterbacks? Let's flip the script. How many quarterbacks that are good quarterbacks, would be happy with Mike Tomlin's coaching? Okay, you're only going to throw the ball about 7 to 10 times today. How would that hit a Tua? How would Tua like it? You're only going to throw the ball about 7, 8, 10 times today. We're going to run the football, then run the football some more. Dak Prescott, how would he like that? Tomlin has got to have the right fit for the outfit. You cannot have a prima donna quarterback. You cannot have I don't even think Josh Allen would like it. I just don't think he would. I don't think Josh Allen would fit in that mold of the Steelers. I don't think he would. You cannot be a quote-unquote superstar in your mind and fit the Steelers mold. You have got to be willing. Exactly. Pickett is a perfect quarterback. Pickett listens to him. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, sir. We'll do that. All right. If you have to change plays, you can do it. And he gives him that little bit of wiggle room. If you need to change a play, he can do it. But we don't want you out here running all over hell, back and forth and all over the creation, throwing the ball 50 yards down the field. And that is why the theory is that defense wins championship. Right. And it's not so much defense wins a championship. It's a smart offense and great defense. And what's wrong with playing smart offense? Is anything wrong with that? What's wrong with Mike Tomlin's theory? I want you to play and not turn the ball over. How many other coaches should run by that theory? Think about it. Think about it. Is that theory stupid? Well, here's the deal. I hear this jabroni on FS1. Colin Coward. Well, he's a defensive coach, so you don't expect anything out of him. He's a defensive coach, so I don't expect nothing out of the offense. I look at it this way. When you have got to football, if you make sure you're the only team that can score, the other team's not scoring. You're playing defense as well. If you've got the football and the other team doesn't, they're not going to score. They're not going to score. So if you don't do stupid stuff with the football, you can win. You don't go throwing 4 picks. Fumbles happen. We know that. But you don't go throwing the football in triple coverage. And he does it sometimes. I'm not defending Pickett. Pickett makes some stupid mistakes sometimes. He does. He throws the ball down in double and triple coverage sometimes. He does it. He's a young kid and makes dumb mistakes sometimes. He does it. I'm not defending him. All I am saying is this. He's a game manager, which is the worst thing you can be in football right now. That was Tim Tebow to a T. Tim Tebow, he is the worst quarterback in the NFL. He won 4 out of 5 games. And he was a game manager. Sucks. He sucks, man. 4-1. I ain't worried about that. He's a game manager. He's not an NFL quarterback. He's a game manager. What is Lamar Jackson then? Okay? What is Lamar Jackson? If Kenny Pickett is a game manager, what the hell is Lamar Jackson? Lamar Jackson, I hear people tell me all the time he's an MVP. And he won the MVP once. If he's not a game manager, what the hell he is? What do you think? Isn't he a game manager? I didn't see him doing stupid stuff last night. They won the ball game. And what the hell's wrong with being a game manager? I don't see nothing wrong with it. He doesn't throw the best ball in the world. No. Dwayne Martz. Lamar's a running back in quarterback clothing. Yeah. But he's a game manager. He's still a game manager. Name a time. Tell me one time in his career he was down 14 or more points and he come back and beat a team. In a big game, 14 points, can he come back and win? I don't know if he can or not. I'm talking about Lamar Jackson. I don't know if he's capable of it. Can he use his arm to get him back into games? I don't know. I think that's a good one. Maybe we'll talk about another day. Can Lamar Jackson play the game, be down 14 points, just any game, and come back? Not a worry. He can come back and bring us back. Can Lamar Jackson beat you? he gets a stump toe and he can't run. Can Lamar Jackson beat you with his arm? No rushing yards. No rushing yards. Can Lamar Jackson, behind the line of scrimmage, throw the football and beat a team constant? I'm not sure. I'm not sure he can. He's able to run a football, yes, but boy, oh boy, I'm not sure he can. I'm not sure he can take a team on his back and say, "I'm going to throw the football 40 times, 30 times, and we're going to win." I'm going to throw the ball for 450 yards, and we're going to win in the playoffs. Constant. I'm talking about constant. Could he do it? I don't know. Stroud has shown us he's able to do that. We're going to see if some of these other guys can. Frank Reich gets fired today in Carolina. I don't like the firing. I don't agree with it. They have no offensive talent whatsoever around Bryce Young. Bryce has been there, 10 games? Give him a chance. Give him a damn chance. You keep flip-flopping coaches. Matt Rule was there. Frank Reich is there. Now who the hell are you going to bring in there? You're going to bring a guy in from Tennessee? Vrabel? And I've heard his name mentioned. All you're doing is just putting them in the washing machine and just taking whoever out to clean this that day. He's going to be our new coach. Like Mike Peterson said, or somebody said it, Pittsburgh's had 3 head coaches in 40 years. 40 years. There's something to that. There's something to that. Do Stanley and John Tabor. Oh yeah. They cleaned out Carolina. Yeah. They cleaned out Carolina. They said he threw a fit in Tennessee yesterday. An absolute fit. And that where they played? I think it was in Tennessee. Where the hell did they play? I think it was Tennessee they played at. Yeah. The owner couldn't get a hold to the coach quick enough and told him on the flight, adios, bye, see you. You're done. The Washington broadcast that came out last week, they came out and they said they're actually giving Rivera a chance with a different coordinator at defense. I'm wondering about that. We're going to see, but I don't think he saves his job. I think his job is done. Brandon Staley, your job is done with the Chargers. You got the most talent of anybody, and you suck. You really do. You got one of the top 10 defenses in the league. You have a great running back and Austin Eckler. You have good receivers. I think your quarterback's decent. Your offensive line can be worked on. And you're gonna probably win 6 games this year. You're probably gonna go 6-11. And they gotta fire your ass. The Bears, Eberflus. What are you doing wrong? Well, you gotta start Fields. Well, other than that, we don't much care what you do. You're gonna get fired. There's a lot of them that's gonna get fired, folks. There's gonna be a lot more that get fired. We're not done. That's 2 so far. I still think New England's coach. I think Belichick's going to get fired. I think he'll get fired. And now we're hearing the Jets are talking about maybe firing their coach. What the hell? What is the Jets thinking? Robert Saleh, you go fire him because you don't give him a quarterback. And then you go out and spend $35 million on Aaron Rodgers. He plays 4 plays. $35 million in the cap is going that way right there, right now. Does that not strap a team? Does that not make a team? We can't really go get you because we can't afford you. We'll go get some jabroni off the street. That's how you lose. That's how you lose a locker room. Keep your coach in New York. Give him a chance. I don't know. I just some of these coaches are getting fired over little stuff, and the big thing is you don't have nothing around them. Who's going to want to coach? Who's going to want to coach Carolina with that owner? Who's going to want to coach with that piece of trash as an owner? Really? Here's $4 million. I want you to coach my team. I'll sign you for 3 years, $12 million. You're going to feel like you're in jail for 3 years. When that 3 years is up, they can't fire you quick enough. You got $12 million and you can go out here and actually breathe. Fresh air. Get away from it. As long as he's got his nose in the business, as long as that Carolina coach has got his nose in all of the proceedings, yeah. As long as the coach for Carolina has got his nose all up in the business, they're not going to win. They're not going to win. Washington Commanders, they got rid of 2 defensive ends. We're finding out now they will. Who is this Ravens quarterback? Delaware Joe. The Blue Hen. Joe. Delaware Joe. He wasn't first to do it, and they couldn't get rid of him quick enough. Yep. They couldn't get him out of town. They couldn't get him out of town quick enough. And you go back, like I say, I love to use Tim Tebow. Undrafted. Nobody wants you. Nobody wants you. You are trash as far Josh Dobbs. You are trash to everybody in this league. You're trash to everybody in this league. I hope he goes out tonight and they put 60 on the board against Chicago. I hope they put a 60 burger on. Josh Dobbs is the reason to watch NFL sports, NFL football. He tries. He makes efforts. He will go to the ends of the earth to try to learn what your system's all about. With no recognition at all. You're on the bench. Then he goes to Arizona and he steps up. He steps up and beats the Dallas Cowboys. That come on. That was a special occasion. Can't really count that one. We can't count that one. Dad's hanging in. He's having a tough time. It's kind of hard to give Josh Dobbs he's not really good. And then he wins a couple more. And then the Vikings quarterback, Kirk Cousins, gets hurt. We got to find somebody to replace him. I guess we could go after Fitzpatrick. I guess we could go after Will Levis. I guess we could go after Baker Mayfield. Josh Dobbs. And he's playing well. Is he winning every game? No. But he's coming in there playing, learning the system, and they are winning some games. He's a system quarterback, folks. He's a system quarterback. He has to learn the way you want him to play, and he's adjusting to that. More power to you, buddy. I hope you win tonight. I hope you actually stomp the Bears. And then tomorrow, then the Tuesday morning quarterbacks come up. Did you see that Justin Fields? Let's say they lose. Let's say the Vikings put it to them tonight, 40-20. The first thing I'm gonna hear tomorrow, did you see that play Justin Fields made? I'll hear that first thing. First thing. They lose by 20. Did you see that play that Justin Fields made? They got beat by 20 points. It don't matter. Did you see that? It does matter, folks. As long as your fan base is okay with you losing, which Chicago's is fine with it. All you got to do is read Facebook. They're fine with him losing. And you go out there and you even try to put an effort up, and you lose. We don't care about that. You go out there and play like you can, brother. You just play the best you can. He's in the perfect city. He's in the perfect city right now because they don't demand excellence in Chicago. I'm not tackling the whole city of Chicago. Just if you go to Facebook right now, go to Facebook and see how they talk about Justin Fields. I'm telling you, Tom Brady, they don't have nothing on this jabroni. Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, they're just quarterbacks. Justin Fields is the deal. Go check it out. I'm telling you, if I'm lying, I'm dying, folks. You all have a great rest of your day. God bless. My picks this week, hold on. I got them right here. Oregon minus 9.5 against Washington. Too many points. I like Washington. I think Oregon probably wins straight up, but I like Washington 9.5. Oklahoma State, Texas. Texas 14-point favorites. No way. I'll take Oak State plus the points. Texas probably wins that game. Georgia minus 5. I take Bama. I think Bama straight up can win this game. I'm not sure they won't. I'm not sure they will. You give me 5 points, I take Alabama. Louisville, Florida State. Florida State, a 3.5-point favorite. It's going to be a tough game for Florida State, but I think they've got the rally and cry going on. I think Florida State wins this game, goes undefeated, and still does not get to go in the playoff. It will be criminal, but I think it happens. Michigan, 23-point favorites against Iowa. I don't know. Nobody can score 23 points against Iowa. I think Iowa can hold this team down below 30 points. I'll take Iowa into 23 points there. Iowa's not going to win a game, but I don't know where they think Michigan's going to come out here and just run all over the field on this team. They haven't allowed anybody to do it to them. I think Iowa has the best defense in the Big Ten. We'll see what happens. My 4 teams to go to the playoffs, I'll have Georgia going. I will have Oregon going. I will have Michigan going. Boy, oh boy. And I'm going to have Alabama going. I think Alabama, one-loss team, gets in there I think they're going to beat Georgia. I think they will go, Alabama will go, Florida State with no losses, sits at home. Do I like it? No, I don't. I don't think it's right. That's the way I see it. You all have a great, great rest of your day. God bless. Thank you for the hour you gave me. And I hope you all are having a wonderful, wonderful Monday. Have a good one, and goodbye.